Good evening, everybody. Maybe we start first with paying respect to the Buddha Dhammasangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Again, good evening, everybody. Today, I want to talk about subject that normally we don't talk about this. We talk about five aggregate, how the human being the Buddha divide the human being into physical and mental, and this is the five aggregate or five kanda, I call it, five things that build the human being. So mostly we talk about mind because the Buddha teaching is about how to overcome suffering. But there is, like we said before, that five aggregate is also material. And you say also that five aggregate or materiality, it's also anicca, dukkha, anatta, like all the other part, all the other things. And normally we don't teach about this. We don't talk about the material, okay? And when you study in the school, since you children, maybe you see even in the battery, the atom, electron, neutron, proton, everybody talk about this. They talk about atomic bomb, about this, okay? So they talk about the physics. But what is the physics in the Buddhism? What is the atom in the Buddhism? What the Buddha say about what is the elementary particle in the Buddhism? How we explain the nature, the physical things. And actually the Buddha, he talk about this. In the Abhidhamma, it's very details. How the eyes working, how the ear working, how everything, what kind of part of the body we have. But they talk in the Abhidhamma about what is the basic things of the materiality, okay? So today I want to talk about this, but I don't really want to teach you physical now. This is not my aim, because the aim of the Buddha is to overcome suffering. And I want to show you how even the material, according to Buddhism, it's anicca, changing so fast. And it's actually, we cannot really control it. And it's create a lot of suffering when we attach to it. So it's also under the three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, because all the way through to nirvana, if we talk to letting go, is by understanding of anicca, dukkha, anatta. So this is actually the purpose. The purpose of to teach rupa, it's not to teach scientists. Okay, it's to teach what is the dangers of attachment to the materiality. Now, you see, we talk about material, like, okay, this is here. Some tradition, they say, this actually not really exists. It's the mind imagining, the mind create. So it means material does not really exist. Everything based by the mind, because of the mind. So the mind create everything. There is one kind of theory like this, okay? It's not that nobody say like this. There is some kind of theory like this. So according to the Theravada, I'm talking about Theravada Buddhism, it's not our imagination. Material exist. Even you go to I don't know, we think now about place in the Amazonas, I don't know, in the last stars of the universe. Okay, there is a tree which the leaves falling. This leaf, it don't need any witness to be exist. Even the angels, you don't need that angels will look about this. It can be exist. It means it's not exist only if we are looking or there. It's not come to make service for us. It's just nature. Okay. So these were first things I want to explain. It's not something that material. It's not something that we imagining. It's not something that the mind create, because in one place it say everything built by the mind, created by the mind. But this is not actually what the Buddha mean when he said that we are creating by imagination material. Okay, so first I want to tell you that is exist material, same like mind is exist. and you experience mind for sure, and body also you experience is making a lot of trouble to us. Okay, so this is the first things. Um, so, like I said, what I want to talk about is the elementary particle according to Buddhism. And what the meaning of particle, because Buddha was a scientist, what he saw reality as it is. For example, if you look at the chair, we will call a chair, okay? But this chair, actually, we can take and break it into pieces, into different parts, into different wood. Okay, and this wood maybe we can break to another small wood that the carpenter built them, and then we get something which is the origin of everything. With this origin, I can build another things also. This small part it cannot break anymore. I give you another example. It's Lego, the game of Lego. You can see house, you can be car, you can see many things, but actually there is a bricks that when they come together in a certain way, then we are telling this is a car. So it means that if you look at the car, it's a concept. It's just built for many, many parts. So the question is, what is the beginning of this part? What is the things which you cannot break anymore? Like, I don't know if you can call it, I think, atom also you can break, okay? To electron and neutron and things like this. So maybe the electron, you cannot break it, okay? So I don't really know. But as far as I know, Einstein, when he searched, he find out, he said at the end, the material and the energy, they are the same things. Something if you take material and you move it very, very fast, this will turn to energy. So he was very close actually to idea of the Buddha. Okay, soon I will explain you about it. And like I said, that I have two reasons to tell you this today, to try to explain it. First, because normally people don't talk it. I think it's good to know what the Buddhism thinking about this, because even children, you ask them atom, everybody know. Electron, they know. They learn the mathematics, they go learn physics, later on, maybe they learn in the school, I don't know, whatever, they want to be electricity. So, but if you talk about the atom itself, according to physics, this is just theory. It's not real. Nobody saw atom. It's just theory. This idea that there is the ball and then they're running around or whatever. And most of the time, this theory of the atom and the electron around it, it's proof. It's go with the nature. Sometimes now somehow the scientists stuck. They found out there are problems with this. And then they're using the quant theory and all these things, which never mind. I don't want really to make you confused with this. Okay, but and so one reason that I want to share with you is first that you will have a little bit knowledge. So I'm not going to go too deep to this. Second, I will try to talk till certain level, and then I will keep place for questions because it's a little bit complicated. Okay, so I try to make it simple. So first, like I said, I want just that you will get some essence of this. Second, I want you to see through this how much the material, according to Buddhism, is anicca, and it's non-self. It just depend on condition and not really that we control. And then if we attach to it, we are suffering. Okay, so like I said, the Buddha, he didn't use like analysia or perceptions or idea like this. He saw nature as it is. He looked at the things as they are, not to give theoria to the things or maybe diagramma or analysia. He didn't use intelligence. He used a microscope, which is concentration. And that's why he knew this kind of information. You can find this kind of information in what we call Abhidhamma. In the Abhidhamma, it's all this information. Okay, not so much in the sutta itself, but in the Abhidhamma, all this knowledge is there. Okay, and yeah. So what happens is that we look at the thing with concept. Okay, but the Buddha, like I said, didn't see the things as a concept. He see the reality as it is. I give you an example. If the little child, he will walk on the street, he will see maybe a coin, one euro. So he will be very happy. Why he will be happy? Because he see game. Okay. Now adult will go on the street, he will see the same coin. He also will be happy. Why? Because he see money. But when scientist is going there, he will see just material. He will be neutral. He is the most close to the reality. Okay? He's not looking at the things as a concept. To say it's a game, to say it's a money, it's kind of concept. He give meaning to this. He give name to this. But the Buddha, he was the most, or the scientist is the most close to the reality as it is, without judging, without analyzing it or give to it interpretation. Okay. Now I will try to explain you what is these basic things that it's like the atom or the electron according to Buddhism. To explain it, I will try to use a simile. Okay, first I give you a simile of something, example, that you get the essence of the idea, and later on I will share with you what is these things. So I'm taking these matches. Everybody see matches? These matches is not fire. It's just a matches, a wood. It's not fire. Now around the matches, you have oxygen, part of the air. This oxygen is not fire. Okay? Now, if I will put another element, which is heat, which is also not fire, temperature, which is also not fire, it's another thing totally. It means if I take these three elements, which three of them, they are totally not fire, I will mix them together. What I get, oh, sorry, yeah. I use another one. Okay. You see, I got something new, totally new. These things we call fire. Okay. Now I make like this. You see what I make? I take three elements, which they are totally not the fire. When I mix them together, I get something else, which is the fire. Okay. Now I take this is the fire. Okay. Let it just burn. I'm going to make it burn that it. Just to show you, for example, if I take these three elements and they don't meet exactly, because here there is oxygen, the gas, it's a material, okay? And when I do this, I will get the heat, okay? Sometimes I bring these things because sometimes it's just not working. Okay, now it's all the time working. So my example not working. I don't know. But normally I wanted to show how sometimes when you take these three elements, it's not necessary. If you don't meet them together, it will not work. But I don't know, it's not working. What have you done? Okay. Yeah. So just, okay. Now again, I will try to make the fire working like this. Okay. Now, let's see, maybe, okay, this is one stick, okay, matches, and another stick, okay. Let's see, one of them, Franz, can you tell me in which one there is a fire? One moment. Difficult things. Okay. Okay.
You don't have all that fire protection.
Yeah. Yeah. One moment. In which end, Franz, you can tell me in which end there is a fire?
It's your right hand.
In the right hand. How do you know? How did you know?
I turn the perspective around.
Yeah, but what actually make you to know? What make me know where there's fire and not fire? How did you know that here there's a fire, here there's no fire?
I see the color, the
Wonderful.
light.
You see what happened? It's not, we call it fire, but actually what you see, it's a fire, it's a light. It's the color. You saw just color. Now your mind see this color, you remember this is color of fire, because if I show plastic, you think this is also color, fire, huh? But I also was smelling it. I was also tasting it. I also was feeling it. It's mean how I know that there is a fire, because he have color. Okay, it's mean I can see it because I have the sense doors. I can see it, I can smell it, I can taste it. It's mean that what happened when I meet these three elements, it creates some, I don't know to say, some things, but actually it's not the things, it's information. Okay? It's color, it's a taste, okay? They are not the fire itself. My memory think this is a fire. It creates story with this, okay? Okay, now I will show you that I explain you about materiality according to Buddhism. Okay, it's very similar to these things. I take in my, let's see, just to overview that I don't miss anything. Okay. Actually, like I said, how did you know? Because you see the color of the fire. You maybe smell, taste, then you recognize this is a fire, okay? But you don't actually see the fire itself. You see the characteristics of the fire. And then your mind says this is a fire, okay? Wonderful. Now let's do other things. I have a ball or whatever, okay? And I put in this ball, okay, something which is not thing, okay? Then I take, let's see, I just want to make sure that I don't mix anything. Okay. 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 Before I'm jumping to the materiality, according to Buddhism, I want just one more thing to use this one. So, okay, fire come. But what happened here? It's that the heat and the material and the oxygen come together, they create one flame. This flame coming up like a birth, okay? There is a birth of the flame, stays sometimes. When he reach to the maximum, he give birth to another flame and then slowly, slowly decay and die. So this, the second one, when she, let's say she, okay, like a mother and the baby, and the child, when she became strong or the temperature maximum, she give another flame. She create another flame. She stays some time, she die. So they come one by one, very, very fast. But for us, very difficult to see it. So what we see one fire. But actually, it's all the time rising and ceasing of flames. It's the same like mother. She give birth to the daughter. She continue living, sometimes getting age, and then she's dying. Now the daughter giving birth to another. When she will do it? Maybe when she come to be 16, 20 years. On the maximum when she is the most feeding, okay? So for example, the fire coming, when she is the most strong, she create another fire. Something like nearby there is another gas and another oxygen, and because of the heat from the first one, light another one. and then the old one decay and disappear. So they are feeding each other like this, and coming, stay some time, and fail. Same like mother and children, okay, mother and daughter, and then became generation. So this is like a generation of rising and ceasing, okay? Well, I think you can understand because we are practicing Vipassana. So I show you the anicca of this case, in this case, okay? Now I'm going to talk about the materiality according to what is this atom or let's say electron according to Buddhism, and you see that it's very, very similar because it's just the nature. Now I take, let's see that I just don't miss something to, okay. Okay, by the way, before I go to the materiality, again, I say our mind is working the same things. You think how many thinking coming and going to you? Suddenly you liking something, you disliking, sometimes thinking about this. So our mind is also like this, rising, ceasing all the time. Suddenly you are angry, suddenly loving kindness, suddenly you're happy, suddenly more. Very, very fast. You see how much thinking you have when you are walking. So every moment, the mind is active in something. So the mind is also working very, very fast, okay? It's working faster than the material, actually, if we talk like this. Now, I want to take one element which is totally not material. It's hardness, solidity. Solidity is characteristics. Solidity, it's not something. Hardness, if I take a sponge, I will say, oh, this sponge is very, very soft. This stone is very, very hard. It means I'm not talking about the sponge and I'm not talking about the stone. I'm talking about the quality. Okay? I take hardness as a quality, as a, let's say, energy or, okay, solidity. Now I take another things. This is the centrifuga, you know, centrifuga, when something want to fly, to run away. When you take a stone, maybe a bag, and you have a rope, and then you turn it. So all the time, this want to run away, okay? This is like fluidity, okay? The things want to extend, like balloon, when you, so balloon want to extend, okay? So this is what happened, you know, is flying. Okay, so this nature, it's also not something, it's just characteristics, it's just nature. Okay, this I also taking. So one thing, it's hardness, which is not something. Solidity, and okay, this is not something. And then the second I talk about, the fluidity, they intend to run away, to go, what I call it, centrifuga, okay? The third things that I take, it's gravitatio, or the things contraction, the things want to come together. This is also not something. You see, I'm taking things which is not something. Okay, this is just nature, characteristics. Okay, and one more things I take, it's a temperature. In the moment that I bring them together, same like I bring these three elements and I create fire, in the moment that I bring solidity into contraction, into expansion, this gets some medium, volume, and temperature, immediately I will get some more characteristics on this. I will get color, for example, I get taste, I get smell, I get all this information. And when I will look at this, then I can see it. But you see that these three things, these four things come together themselves. They are not really something. They are characteristics. They exist in the nature. And in the moment that they are coming together, immediately there's something coming to be. But how I know these somethings? Because he have colors, he have taste, he have also this color, it's not something. The taste is not something, it's characteristics. Now, all these characteristics, they are calling rupa. When we say rupa, we don't talk about the somethings. We talk about, because the things that come together and we are seeing, this is break by pieces into solidity, but solidity you cannot break. It's not something that you break. This is the beginning. This is the something that exists, or the element which exists, but it's not something by himself. Okay, this is what we call rupa. Altogether we have 28 rupa. For example, male and female sex, spare, or space between things. Okay? So you see what happened. In the moment that we take these 4 elements together, we bring, and then we get another characteristic, so we can witness it. And then it became the something that we are talking about. This must be group, because if you take only temperature, still, no, actually temperature, how do you know that there is a temperature? Because you compare it with another temperature. If there is only one temperature, you don't know. But when you take another temperature, then you can compare and say, oh, it's hot, it's cold, okay? So when you take these 4 elements in the nature, immediately you get this, what's so-called the something. Why you have something? Because it creates some characteristics, other characteristics that you can witness to them. This is, like I said, the color, the taste, the smell, okay? Even you can eat it, actually. It also creates something that you suddenly can eat, okay? Now, I said that this must come as a group of these kind of characteristics. Group in Pali, we say klapa. Okay, klapa, it's group. So this is rupa. Rupa, I say, all these characteristics, they are the rupa. We don't, when you hear the word rupa, material rupa, you understand it's not mean about paper, about stones, about these things. Rupa, it's the characteristics that have it or create it. Okay? So when they are coming, then you have other things. So it's all the time must be minimum of these 4 elements. So they must come with a group. And that's why we say the first element which you can say really it's some things, it's a rupa klapa. It means clusters, group, collections of this rupa, which each of these rupa are not really some things. But when they meet together, then they became, because we can witness them, then we can, something like witness, oh, there is something there, okay? Let's see. Okay, now I want to just to make the finale of this, and then I give you equations. What happened when these 4 elements come together? They create, we say, rupa klapa. This rupa klapa by itself, suddenly when she appear, when she get into the maximum, she also have temperature. She influence to the others' environment. So what she's doing? She create another rupa. And then she's decaying and getting old. And then by herself, she die. Now the daughter coming to be the maximum. She create another rupa. Same like the mother and daughter. Same like the flame. I explain you. So exactly it's happened the same way. In the moment that the rupa, these 4 elements come together, they create this rupa klapa. So the rupa klapa became the strong, the power that it can be. She became 16 years old, if you heard like this, or 20 years old. She gave birth to another klapa because of the energy that she have inside. And after this, she's dying. So what happened? Okay, you see these things, it's never changing the size. Because if it will be too fast, then this will be big or small, like a cancer, okay? But because they all the time give birth, they die, they give birth, they die, they give birth, they die so fast. Just to give you an example, the mind so fast, every 17 thought moment that your mind rhyme, one clapper coming and dying. In the same time, when she coming and dying, she give birth to another clapper. So you think how many times this, every split second is rising and ceasing. How many the atom changing inside, if you want to talk about physics like this. How many times the atom rising, ceasing inside. But we cannot see this. We are not capable. When you look at Lego, you don't say this is Lego. This is company Lego, but this is a car. This is a chair. When you look at the chair, you don't say this is wood connected. Your mind immediately make this is a chair, this is a table. In the same way, we cannot, even an enlightened person is not capable to see the atom moving. He just look, you see, this is, I don't know, lighter. Okay, call it like, no, it's not working. Successfully, okay. So, but how we know it? Because there is a color to this. Actually, we don't see lighter, we see the color. We can hard. Okay, what is symptom of hardness? You don't let another hardness to come inside because we call it solidity. Okay, so this actually coming so fast, rising and ceasing, and our body is also material. Our body is also rising and ceasing so fast, but we are not capable to see it. We just see this is the same end. Something like you ask, oh, this is my body from from the time my birth till I die. But actually, so many times my body rising, ceasing, and it's just depend on other conditions, which I will talk about this next week. Okay, I will summarize what I talk now next week. I will talk about this a little bit faster. What I talk today, but I also will explain what happened to our body. Because these things, what make it staying, this is the temperature. If I will warm it, it melt. Okay, if I call it, it will be cold, maybe it's, so what make it rising and ceasing, it's because of temperature. It's fed by the temperature. Our body, it's a little bit more complex because we have also mind and also we are eating food. And this is also connect to sickness. This one I will talk next week. Okay, so just this is the basic things about materiality. What the Buddha think is the atom of Buddha. According to Buddhism, I know that is a little bit complex, difficult to understand, but just to tell you that in the moment that in the nature there is such things like solidity, fluidity, contractions, and temperature. In the moment that they come together, there's something coming. We know it because it's create another characteristics like color, like taste, like smell, and we are able to witness on it. When we're able, we say there's something, okay? Yeah. But it exists in the nature and you don't need a human being or any angels to look at it. It just, like I said, live in the Amazonas dwelling if we know or we don't know about it. It's not imagination. But if someone there, he can see it. Okay? Okay. So I know it's a little bit complicated subject. I try to make it digest for you a little bit. I think at least some of you understand. I think it's important to talk. And you see, body changing so much. So how much the mind is changing? Any questions? Bitte schön. Difficult? Huh? This is Abhidhamma. People sometimes say, oh, can you teach Abhidhamma and this? Oh, so you get confused. But I think some of you can understand it about this.
subject for next time, how the mind is influencing.
Yeah, of course. Next time I will talk about not only the mind, also karma we have that influence the material, also the food, and also the temperature, okay? For example, if people die, they don't eat anymore, they don't have any karma anymore, and also the mind is not active, but the body is still there, lay down. So how we lay down? The same like this paper stay and don't disappear. This paper is not eating anything, it don't have mind and also no karma, but it's function because it depends on temperature. As long as the temperature, if you heat it, it will burn, it will change. The klapa will change. The connection between the element, what is making, what color, what taste, what smell, it's how many percentage you have solidity, how much percentage temperature, and because every material have different amount of these 4 elements. But actually these 4 elements create all the materiality. All the rest, it's like by effect, by product of it. And all these things called rupa. When we talk about rupa, we don't talk about material. We talk about the idea is the characteristics. And because these 3 characteristics meeting together, they create another characteristic. Altogether, we have 28. Like a space, like the mobility, I can move, okay? The body can move, or things like this, okay? Also, I can see. There's also klapa that make the eyes capable to get the information of the color. I can hear. Inside there is a klapa that get the information of the ear. Okay, smell, same thing. So the sense doors also, there are special klapa that making us getting information.
There are people with high concentration, they can see the rising and ceasing.
Yeah.
That quick.
Yeah.
Really quick, right?
Yeah. This is supernormal power. Today there is no such people like this, but in the past, or people which have this, they are capable to see. That's why we know it. That's why I said the Buddha was a scientist. The Buddha was not speculative and not because theory, all this what the physics now today, it's theory. And they collapse because this theory is not managing with everything. Some things they cannot explain, but they just don't know what to do with it. So they just, okay? That's why when they reach to the quant, they are just stucking. There's things absurd is going there because they have theory. They don't really have. The Buddha said that it's just these characteristics of nature. When they come together, then we get the impression that something is there because we see it, we hear it, we smell it. Okay, so our mind. Because if you never see candles, you never know what is it. I would make you like this. How many times for me it's happened that I see something, I don't know what I see. I have to move to guess, to remember. What is the thing, what is the object that actually I'm seeing? I have to use but I see it actually. What I see the color. But still this color don't give me the full information of the memory to get the perceptions of what is it. Understand? But at the end, what we see, it's like also sound. These things suddenly have sound, suddenly have smell, taste, okay? So that's why we perceive this. It really exists. Rupa, it exists, okay?
So that there are, as you say, there are 28 different
characteristics. They are called rupa,
If 4 of them only come together,
then only.
Then we talk rupa.
Yeah, no, then you have, when 4 of them coming, you have rupa klapa, cluster of rupa. Like this, you have many rupa. They exist in the nature, okay? Same like you have liquid, but now you don't have, here there is a liquid, okay? I know, okay? So also, hardness exists. When hardness coming together with solidity, okay? And like gravitation, one blew off, okay? Meeting with the contraction, with the temperature, then pluck, this, same like the light. You take 3 things that they are not fire, suddenly you get fire. How do you know fire exists? You don't know the fire. You have the smell, you have the taste. So you take all this information, you say, fire is there. Why? Because they teach you. This called fire. We call it many things. Okay, I can call it candle, I can call it fire, I can, okay, whatever I call it. But then I give, this is concept. This is not reality. The reality is the color. Reality is the smell. Reality is the taste. Okay, the mind create concept. This is the car. Okay. Bitteschön. You can ask anything. Don't think that looks like stupid question. It's very difficult to understand because I know that I'm learning physics, so I can digest it. But sometimes I try to explain simple things about physics to people. They get confused, difficult for them. Mathematics, there are some people difficult for them to understand. Okay, but I try to make it in the simple way. That's why I show you the example of the candle. Please.
I have a question, Ajarn.
Please.
We know that, let's say I want to make food, I buy the materials, I do all these actions, they change into food, I eat them, they change, they come out, they change. Okay, everything because I had my wish to feed my body. My question is, did the Buddha explain who had the wish that we are exist? Why are we here? Why this rupa? Because it's not by accident, I think.
No, it's not by accident. It's because of ignorance, because of avijja. Avijja, it's not belong to someone. Ignorance is not belong. Anger is not belong to someone. It's characteristics in the nature. That's why sometimes it's coming into you, not because you want to be angry, because other conditions make it come up. The neighbor make dong, 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 dong. So it exists inside you, you were sleeping. And so the dong, dong, dong make you not happy and then anger come up, okay? Or loving kindness. Suddenly the loving kindness is potentially inside you, it exists in nature. But when you walk, suddenly your eyes see the beggars. See the beggars, rising up, does he need something to eat? And then compassion coming to you. Where is this compassion coming? Because it exists in nature. But what make it come up? It's a trigger of the other condition. The Buddha said this is paticca samuppada, they call it, dependent origination. And everything starts because of ignorance. There is unknown between suffering and happiness. We perceive, you see, for example, people, I give sometimes this example of chocolate. Inside yourself, there is a feeling, I want chocolate. It exists inside you. And then you go, you take the chocolate, suppose, and then problem with the tooth. Okay? Because it exists inside you. It's not that you make it or not make it, but it's just the characteristics that you have inside. Okay? So same things. I want something because I think this is make me happy. But actually, same like people take drugs. They think it's make them happy, but actually they're hurting themselves. But it's not something with intelligence, because if you tell them don't smoke cigarettes, he wants cigarettes. So it means this tanha, we call it attachment or craving, it exists in the mind. It's just a question of time if it's raising or not raising in you. You understand? It's just characteristics, mental characteristics which exist in the mind, which are in the sentient beings.
But this understand what is the human being. But I think we are some kind of a dish. You know what I mean? What? Like when I prepare food.
Yeah.
When I prepare food, I take elements, I create food with, okay, sometime like that, sometime like that. Yeah. Maybe the way did the Buddha, why it did all these elements became in this specific way of human beings, of animals, of
because of the attachment. Because of the attachment. Attachment of 6 sense doors, 5 sense doors, hearing, seeing, smelling. This is actually what makes you the birth with the eyes. If you don't want to see, the eyes will not come. If you don't want to smell, then don't craving to the smell. A craving, it make you to, why the people, some people have car, some people don't have car. Because they want car, so they buy car. They don't want car, they don't buy a car. Why you buy kurkuma? Because you want kurkuma. Otherwise, you don't buy kurkuma. So the craving motivates you to buy this. You understand?
Okay.
Otherwise, you just drink water. Or even other things, you understand? Or whatever. But why you choose this food and not other food? Not necessarily because it's intelligent, or sometimes the wisdom also. This is good for the body, it's not good for the body, it's feeding, okay? But still, you want to be survived. You don't want to be sick. Huh? Of course, it's wisdom, it's right things to do. But still, what motivates you to go to the shop to buy? Because of craving. And you buy special things because of craving. This is what motivating us to continue. You understand? So you have craving and ignorant. This is what makes us also reborn in the next life, if you talk like this. Otherwise, no motivation to reborn. You understand? Why you have children? Because you want children. If you don't have children, you don't make children.
Okay, thank you.
It's answer to you or somehow?
It answers somehow, but still I not just that you talking about the process, okay, our process of life. Why this process?
Yeah.
But I ask you in Hebrew and then you can translate to English. because אני אומרת שכמו שאוכל זה תהליך, כדי להכין את האוכל, נכון? ואז כאילו, אני אומרת, כאילו, אני לא יודעת להסביר את זה אפילו כאילו, אני חושבת שיש איזושהי מטרה, המטרה של האוכל זה להזין את הבן אדם, להנאה או כל שלא משנה, מה המטרה של אדם?
No, okay, she asked what is the purpose that why we are living, or something like this, yeah? What is the purpose that we exist? Huh? That's what you ask? So I ask you something.
Yes.
In the winter, the cloud dropping the rain, okay? In there, let's say in Jupiter. Let's talk about Jupiter, the rain, the cloud moving and dropping the rain. What is their aim to drop the rain? Why do they need to drop rain? You can ask them?
No.
Ask anyone to ask why the rain, what is the interest of the rain to drop the water and the cloud in the, I don't know, the stars somewhere in the universe to drop the rain. What is the purpose? There is no purpose. It's just a function of nature. You don't need nature for this. There is Amazonas, okay? It's flowing very beautifully. Huh? What is the purpose that stain the stones on the right side of the Amazonas? You ask the stones, why you have to be there? It doesn't need purpose. It just exists there. It's just a nature. Nature don't need purpose. But is running. And what makes him run is the ignorance and the attachment. If you talk about human being as a part of the nature. He don't have any purpose. But it's matter of suffering that we, as long as we are in the running and looking, wanting, and never want to, never satisfied, we will suffering. But this is our nature. And we are locked in this. We never satisfied. And what we do when we practice Vipassana, we cutting this attachment. And then you find a lot of meaning. If you want to be happy, a lot of meaning. You don't think selfish. You start to think how I can help other people. Because when you help other people, it's make you happy, not when you go and buy schnitzel to yourself. But because we don't know, so we're choosing to spend the money on chocolate and not to spend the money on charity. You understand? So this is what motivates us. But if there is a purpose to buy chocolate, believe me that I don't think there is a purpose. It's just happy. But it's wrong happy. You understand? But this is not thinking about this purpose, because I told you, you ask the stones in the Amazonas on the right side, what is the purpose you stay there? It's just stones that stay there. There is no need purpose for this. Because the nature is like this. You can ask how she come there. Maybe it was earthquake or something, cause and effect maker to be there. But the question of the I don't say reason for the why he need there. There's no, this is not valid question at all. Same things. For what you are afraid from the dog, it's not a valid question. You can say why you're afraid. What is the things that make you fear from dog? This is you can analyze, and then you can solve the fear out of it. But to say what is the purpose, this is already wrong thinking about, because there is no really purpose. We all wishing that it will not be, nobody want to be fear from dogs. Okay?
Thank you.
Welcome. Petition. Also, one of you want to ask also, you can ask.
Ajarn,
Yeah, please.
as the human being, can there be rupa without nama or not?
Yeah. This is depend on concentration. This is asanisata. Asanisata, it means no, there's conditions of the mind because of strong concentration. Only rupa, but no nama. But it's just because of the purpose. It is after the change, you understand? It's a second when you say, oh, can be the body will be without the mind. Just for example, when people sleeping, for example, it is not really, okay? But it's not, you cannot sleep all the time. You sleep 6 hours, wake up, and then, wake up again. Okay? This is not good example. Don't refer to this. But just because of strong concentration, people can do this. Because they press down. They press down, understand? They think, oh, maybe the body not so good, or make us a lot of suffering. They're using strong concentration, and then if this effect on the moment of dying, then they rebirth in this stage. But for some times, not for all the time. After some time, come back again, human being. Okay?
Thank you, Ajarn.
By the way, also enlightened monks also can do this. You can use this strong concentration, and then it's just the body sitting, but the mind, something like the mind shut down because of strong concentration. But after some time, it will come back. It's called neither perception nor feeling. Only enlightened monk which have strong concentration. Something like body without mind, but actually it's just a forcing down because of concentration. It's a kind of game.
But this is not blackout.
No, it's not a blackout. No, I cannot say this. Not. You can say like blackout, something like it looks like, but body sitting and not moving because something is shut down. Understand? But it's just a purpose of a moment of concentration, and after some time, it will come back again. Okay, it's called, sometimes we use the word of Nirodha Samapatti. But you have also stage of being like this, which is a long time. It's called Asanisata Deva, angels of Asanisata, without mind. Something like that.
Thank you, Ajarn.
Bitteschön. Next week, I will try to repeat somehow about this subject. Maybe it's help you to digest it. And then I will talk about I said that material like this is influenced mostly because of temperature, okay? What make it, because if you change, you bring too much temperature, suddenly it will melt, or okay, if you, this one will burn, okay, or whatever. So that's why the material itself, the reason that it's continued to reborn again and again, and this lighter stay lighter, it's because of the how many percentage of temperature. If you increase the temperature, it will change. The rupa klapa will change. It will start to melt. It will be more liquid, okay? If you are forcing it, maybe it will be more strong, like water and this. Okay? But human being, like I said, is because we have also mind, our material, our rupa klapas, they're already affected by other things beside temperature. Bitte. Okay, yeah. Good. So 1 more minute, if anyone have any question. If no, so I say to you, thank you very much. Okay, I think anyone have to talk about this subject, even if it's a little bit difficult to understand. You got a little bit the essence of materiality. What is the beginning of materiality according to Buddhism? And also one thing that I want to show, how fast is this rupa klapa coming, stay and going, coming, stay and going. And every time give another birth and disappear, give another birth and disappear. So normally when we look, we think this is one thing, but actually it's not a one thing. It's something that change very, very fast, that even we cannot understand how fast is it. Okay, and this one we cannot see. So we get impression, this is I am, this is my body, okay? I never change, okay? We get only the gross changing and not the fine changing. Good. So we pay respect again to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhan Bhagavatam Pativati Sawakato Bhagavata Supatibhagno Bhagavato Sangho Sankarnam. Dankeschön. Gute Nacht.
Thank you, Ajarn.
Welcome. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.